Hello, everybody. Wait for some people to jump in here real quick. If you popped into the room, say hi to me, say hello, hit the like button. Just let me know you're in the room. And I apologize for the noise. They have given the dog a chew toy upstairs, and it sounds like he is coming through the floor. Hello, folks. How's everybody tonight? Carl, I made a live. There you go. Let a few more people filter in, and you can start asking your questions. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? You can start asking your questions now. We just had a video pop up on Patrick's page and got a new player in the ball game. We've got Ernie Evans. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? I don't know who Ernie Evans is. He's a bluegrass promoter. Thank you. Too much, Mom. Thank you. I did not have a working knowledge of Ernie until tonight when I first saw the video. Evidently, he's a friend of Patrick's, and they've communicated with each other, and that's how they know each other. And well, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. I love you too. Um, Folks, the one thing that kind of got me was at the end of the video tonight. And yes, Easy Lane's a new player. A new player has popped into this situation. Um, the thing that got me tonight was the fact that they made reference to, and we had already known that the Whittaker's home is not on property that they own. We've already known that. But Eric had went to the county and got permits to build on a piece of property there, evidently that is next to the property. It's like 17.6 acres or something like that. So from my understanding from other videos, and again, that's what you know, Becca, you could be right there. I, you just never know if somebody's lied, but from my understanding was the house that they lived in was not on their property, but there was 17 acres that was the Whittaker property. And that's where they were going to build the log cabin on. Betty had made reference that her sister had lived back there. Barbara said it's across the road. Okay. It very well could be. I know that somebody had said that, and Betty said it, that her sister had lived back there. And so you would think that it had to be the Whitaker's home place or the farm or something back there that, that was there. Also, when they got down to the monetization of these videos, and guys, people get paid on these videos, plain and simple. It There's 6 different platforms right now between Eric and Patrick. Patrick only getting paid off of one that I understand, and then Eric is getting um, paid off of the other 5, I believe. Supposedly there was an equal split between everybody, that it was split 3 ways, and Eric would get money, Patrick would get money, and the Whitakers would get money. Then here comes Ernie tonight, and Ernie made reference into the fact that he was not making any money, but if there was a chance to make money, he likes to eat. He would not turn away the pie. That bothers me, folks. It really does. It really bothers me. And the guy may be a good guy. I don't know. But I'm hoping that he is not here to jump in on this money thing. I pray that he is not in here to jump in on this. Everybody's trying to make money now. They are. And, he made reference to the fact that on the bottom of the page, uh, it shows where you can buy videograms and things like that. And he said he couldn't do anything about that that automatically popped up, and that is true. I would say that's true because you can put the settings to the point where it will pop up every time you come on. Whipping Post. Eric has one YouTube channel. The other four channels are different content. That's correct, but we're talking Whittaker content as well. Evidently, there's a TikTok, there's a Facebook, there's a YouTube, then there's Eric's page, and then there's Patrick's page. So then it's like one and four. Could be an Instagram in there as well. Not sure. Um, Kimberly, Ernie showed up tonight. He came in and basically wanted to do the live to take away some of the pressure on Patrick. Evidently, they're friends. He's trying to help Patrick and the family, and I pray that's what he's doing. Right now, he did make reference. He's a music promoter, correct? He did make reference to the fact that Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray are all three together right now. He did make reference to that. Now, how he knows that, he did not make reference to that. But he said that they are all three together currently. He did talk about the house and the house being condemned. We have covered that. A lot of the first part of that video was explaining people who he was, what was going on. In the comments, you started seeing people get very frustrated over the fact of going, just, get on with it. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. And, he popped up tonight. Cicely. Ernie is a gentleman who popped up tonight on Patrick's Facebook page. He did an hour live video. He is basically trying to be a buffer, from what he said. He's trying to be a buffer for Patrick. So Patrick gets frustrated with all of the questions and the comments, and he's trying to be a buffer and trying to help. He did ask at the end of the video if anybody knew where they could find a good piece of land at to put, housing on for Lorraine, Timmy, and them, that they would look into something like that. That's where I got confused, because we've kind of always been told that we know the house that has gotten condemned is not their house. It does not sit on their property. However, from what I gather, yes, Jesus loves everybody, loves you and everybody. But from what I gather, there is 17 acres, 17.6 acres, I believe, that is owned by the Whittakers. Eric had went to the county and got permits to build a log cabin up there. Somebody had to say something if that was the case, and I don't know if it's true or if it's not. I haven't seen papers like that. You just don't know. But somewhere along the line, Strange Cloud, did they lose the property? I'm not sure. I'm going based off of what we've learned through other videos and other communications, is the fact that we do know that the house is on a piece of property that they do not own. The Whittakers do not own that. But there was supposed to be 17.6 acres of land that was owned by the Whittakers. And Rick Hurst, you make a great point. Back taxes. It's possibly it was auctioned off, and you really just don't know about it. We don't know. That's the sad thing about it. We just don't know. Maybe the taxes were never paid on the 17 acres. It's a good point. Good point, guys. I never thought about that. It is something that needs to be looked into, and I'll see if I can make some phone calls in the morning and see if they have public record of that, if that land was sold, and who owns that property now. That is a great point, guys. JJJ, I bet they didn't pay taxes. I could see that. I could see that happening. Guys, they're not good with money. The Whittakers were not good with money. They've never had money until here recently in these last couple of years, and a lot of money have filtered through. So that is a. Craig said Eric never got the permits. Again, Not sure. I could not tell you. I'm only going based off of what the video said. And Eric said that he had gotten permits and they were looking to build the log cabin up there. That's why they had went and got the permits and everything and got the Amish to build the house up there for them. I do look like Santa Claus. I do. uh, but yeah, it's public record. Craig, I'm going to look into that. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm going to look into that because um, that's a question right now. He did talk a little bit about BJ and Larry's relationship. And guys, Bennett, I love you too. Guys, I get it. Look, that's a father and a daughter. And I don't care what mental state they're in. I don't care, um, drug addict, not drug addict. That's still a daughter and a father. And there's a special bond between a daughter and a father. And I pray that BJ gets help one day. I really do. But again, we've talked about it before. That falls on BJ. That literally falls on BJ. Patricia, yes, Ernie was on Patrick's Live tonight. He's basically claiming that he is a buffer from basically all of when Patrick gets on Facebook right now or gets into these lives. From what I've seen, he is bombarded. Same way with Eric. He's bombarded with the hateful comments and the nasty comments. And from what Ernie said, that Patrick gets very upset over those. And he starts trying to get into the conversations of the hate and things like that with people, and that's not the way to go. It is really not. So he has kind of come in and hopefully, you know, take over things. And for a little while, they said that they will do another live tomorrow night. I hope so. Um, he was talking about buying a double wide trailer, looking for a piece of land to put that on. But when you buy the double wide trailer, you have to make sure the doors are wide enough and things like that, based up under the American Disabilities Act. We know that wheelchairs are eventually coming. We see Ray right now with his knee the way it is, with his back the way it is. Um, do you know who owns the YouTube Whittaker channel? From what I'm understanding, that is Eric. Eric owns the YouTube Whittaker channel. And but what I was saying there was, you've got to make it to where you can get a wheelchair through these doors. You got to have a ramp in front of it. Um, he did make reference to the fact, and we've talked about it before through other videos, that the house its condition is just so bad that they've basically condemned it. He said he did not know if it was condemned. Patrick made reference to it the other night that the house had been condemned. Betty is currently staying over at Patrick's home. They put a video up of her last night laying on the couch with one of the dogs. And so that is where she's at. Now, Larry, we believe it was Larry who popped into the truck, the back seat of the truck last night. So I would say that was Larry in the back seat of the truck last night. I'm not sure. I could not see if that was Larry. A lot of people are saying that, that was Larry in the back of the truck where Betty was, and they were on the live. Florida Man didn't say much, in my opinion. No, he kind of covered, I think it was more of an introduction than anything. I really think that he was getting people used to the fact that you are getting ready to see him, and he will be doing things from. You got the sense that his main goal is to help, and I pray that's true. He did say that the money was split. Patrick got a share, Eric got a share, and supposedly the Whittakers got a share. So it was set up, and evidently it was written up somewhere, and I'd like to see that contract, that they would split the money evenly through that. And so, again, Joe, you could be right. I'm not sure. And guys, I do these videos. Thank you, Cricket. I appreciate you. I do these videos a lot of people don't have Facebook. A lot of people don't have the other platforms and they miss some of this stuff. So I come in just to kind of keep you updated on what's going on and how everything's going on. Um, I don't have a dog in this fight. The only dog I have in this fight are the Whittakers. I care about what happens to the Whittakers. This is a family that, wow, its whole world's been turned upside down over the last 5 years. And, Mark came in and tried to help them. And then I think once Mark came in and started to try to help them, I think it opened up doors for others to sit there and say, hey, there's money to be made off of these people. And good or bad, happy or sad, I think a lot of people showed up. And I'm praying that we can get good people around them. Um, I don't know Eric. I don't know Patrick. They may be some good people. I don't know. I have no idea. From what I'm seeing right now, I got some questions. I got a lot of questions. But again, that's not for me to say. That's for you to judge. That's for you to sit there and say, guys, this is how I feel. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I believe. Um, no, somebody just said maybe you should do a fundraiser. Not happening. That is something that I told you earlier today, guys. Please be careful where it comes to fundraising. A lot of people will run scams and they'll set up GoFundMe pages and they'll say, oh, we're here to help the Whittakers. Well, guess what? Whittakers never see a dime of that money. And that person who set up that GoFundMe page is the only one that will see that money. Um, Ferris, you're right. I hate to judge anybody. All I can do is pray for them and pray that they're doing the right thing. And, this family has been torn apart. And if you watched Mark's series, and now I will say Ernie did make reference to something good tonight that people need to understand. The state of West Virginia, the state of Virginia, you get into some of these rural areas, and I say that because I'm in the state of Virginia. You get into some of these rural areas, I'm talking, it's tough on people. It really is. You see a lot of people just living bare bones on everything. Commonwealth, I'm sorry. A Commonwealth of Virginia. I do live in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But you see them living on, the bare bones, the bare necessities of things. And that's how the Whittakers were living. Yeah, Joy said, yeah, across America in rural areas everywhere. You would be amazed. Look up, and I don't have the number in front of me, and I don't claim to know the number. But look up, tonight while you're sitting there, get on your computers and type in how many people in America don't have running water. You would really be surprised at the people that still live without running water. You'd be surprised with the people that still live with an outhouse. If you've never gone to use the bathroom in an outhouse, I'm telling you now, it's an experience. It really is. Spook Girl, I live off grid. There's a lot of people that live off grid. There's a lot of people, that just don't want to be in the society that we're, you look at the last couple of days and what this country's been through. A lot of people don't want to deal with this. That's plain and simple. It's really bad in a lot of these rural areas. Correct. And let's see, Alicia, Southwest Virginia here. Alicia, you and I are in Southwest Virginia. I'm glad you're on here with me tonight. But no, when Mark made the money that they did through fundraising, I think the total was, at the end there, $155,000 that was distributed. And guys, from what I understand, Mark was good with the money. He ended up having to pay taxes on the money. And he even made reference in a video that he didn't want to take money, but he needed to, pay the tax bill. Is Mark good? I don't know Mark. I've only seen what I've seen through the videos. I think um, I think Mark had good intentions. I think it got out of hand on Mark. I think it got to a point where Mark couldn't control the things. Deadly said Mark is a good man. Mark didn't exploit them. He didn't, and he'll be the first one to tell you it got out of hand on him. It really did. And when he had the money, and he said in a video I watched last night that Betty had started calling him like every other week. Um, that she was calling for large sums of money, and at one time he even sent $14,000 to her. And he shows you if you look for the video, you can find the video. Um, Mark's intentions, and somebody just made this comment. Mark's intentions went to BJ. A lot of money went to BJ, evidently there. And I did watch the video to where BJ had called Mark one night and said that Larry had died. And and she needed money, and Mark started sending her money, but then Mark got it in his head of going, maybe I should go to West Virginia. Maybe I should show up for Larry's funeral. Well, guess what? When he got there, Larry was still alive. And he had shown up to go to this man's funeral. And wow. That, and of course, the first thing they all say is they didn't know. They had no idea what she was doing or what was going on. Angela, did they condemn the house? From what I understand, and this is what Patrick said last night, the house has been condemned. Kelly G from Southwest Virginia, hello. Um, from what I understand, the house has been condemned. Um, Folks, something was brought up tonight, and we're trying to figure out. And I'm going to make some phone calls in the morning, see if we can figure this out. Somebody said that maybe the property, we all know that the house that the Whittakers live in is not on their land. Evidently, there was 17.6 acres of land there that belonged to the Whittakers. Somebody made reference tonight of the fact, did they pay taxes on the land? If they did not pay taxes on the land, did the land get auctioned off? And do the Whittakers really own any land to begin with? They could have at one time. Uh, I don't know. That's something that we're going to have to look into. You can go on the tax website. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that and see what's going on there. He did make reference. Now, this is Ernie. Ernie is a new guy that's popped into the picture tonight. Ernie is evidently a bluegrass promoter. He said that he is here to help the Whittakers and help Patrick and kind of be a buffer for Patrick and Facebook and all the chats and everything like that, and just kind of, you know, Bobby said they do own 17.6 acres. Awesome. Uh, Here's the thing: can you build a home on it? Is it good enough land to to build a home of it? They did talk about putting a double wide somewhere, and again, we talked about that. The double wide is an option, but you've got to get it to the point to where you've got to make it handicap accessible, because they do believe wheelchairs are coming for these folks, and so I could see that, being something that they will have to deal with. Right now, they're saying that Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy are all three together. They are saying that. That is what is going on. Yes, somebody just posted in here. Wait a minute. What was that? The land they lived on is owned by Daly Phyllis Delane. The property was bought by Hunt Branded LLC in the year 2020 for back taxes, but was never owned by the Whittakers. Okay, there you go. So that tells us a little bit. Let's see. Can you have a scooter for Christmas? Billy, we'll work on it. I'll get the elves to start working on it right now. Um, the property across the street in TG Chicago, the property across the street is owned by Betty's parents. Okay, so I think there's property there, but boy, they're getting people confused, saying that they own land, they don't own land. It's really confusing, especially when the end of his video there, he said, "Hey, if you know where there's a piece of property that we can put a double wide trailer on and buy," that's a little confusing. That just kind of gives you the sense of there's no property there. Melissa, you're right. Eric did talk about it. He also talked about getting permits and things like that. Douglasville, Betty needs a lawyer. From what I understand, they went to see one yesterday. They're going back tomorrow. They're trying to figure out what can be done with the three family members that are in state custody right now. True Rebel, they intend to confuse people. Well, boy, they did a good job with me tonight because it confused me. I tell you what. Missy, hello from Pennsylvania. Hello. Um, okay, Eric said the property was in a flood zone. Very possible. And if it's in a flood zone, guess what? You're not building in it, folks. Most people won't even give you permits to build in a flood zone. Um, try to buy property around a river somewhere. If it's in a flood zone, a lot of people won't give you permits to build there. Uh, the land that the house is on now is in a flood zone. There's no doubt in my mind. I am confused, but I'm staying the course. You and me both. Like I said, when there's a lot of people in this mix right now popping up here, and so do the elves get standard workers' rights? Yes, I take very good care of the elves. They do. Um, you think the land is in a flood zone? From what we gathered, that was something that Eric had made reference to, that the property was in a flood zone, and even the house therein, well, currently at the time, was in a flood zone. Some people said they won't give you insurance in a flood zone. You're correct. They're not going to. You know, it's like buying your property down at the beach. There's a lot of companies now that won't give you hurricane insurance for the simple fact they know that you're buying in an area to where a hurricane may hit. So that's something we're dealing with there. Mitch, I appreciate you. This thing has more twist and kinks than a slinky factory. You got it. Um, but guys, I'm gonna hop off here in a minute, but I want you to do something for me tonight. Pray for this family. Really, when you go to bed tonight and you hit your knees and you speak to the big man upstairs, pray for this family. This family needs a lot of prayers right now. Betty in particular. And I'm talking, a lot of people will sit there and go, Betty's had issues, Betty's done this, Betty's done this. You still pray for her. Still one of God's children. All of these people are God's children. They are human beings. And they are caught in a vicious cycle of something, guys, right now that I hate watching. And I wish somebody could just swoop in and take care of everything. And it's just really bad. It concerns me. And but that's the thing. Um, Betty looks like she has aged probably 10, 20 years in the last couple days. This is hard on her, I am sure. Um, can you please laugh like Santa Claus? Chloe, Coco, I can't. One time for you. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get. Let me hop off here, guys. I love each and every one of you. Tomorrow, tonight, wherever you're at, go out and do something for somebody. Guys, today's September 11th. Remember those that we lost 24 years ago. Remember the men and women that put their lives on the line for us every day. Again, pray for us, guys. Pray for that family. Pray for the people in this chat. Pray for everybody. It, you would not believe the power of prayer. And if this many people get together and pray, I think we could overcome a lot of things here. but hopefully everything can get resolved out of this. They said they'll be back tomorrow, so as soon as they're back, and we'll go with another update if I see something pop up. Everybody have a great and blessed night, and I'll see you next time.